Kathy here, and I wanted to welcome you to Help for Moms. I hope you are able to find my channel now that I've changed the name, and feel free to subscribe to it or share it with other young moms that you may know. I am hoping this channel will be an encouragement to you, a support to you, and we'll talk about subjects that are relevant to you. Just to let you know my background, I am a mom of 4 adult children. I have 3 boys and 1 girl, and they are between the ages of 32 and 23 now. And I had full joy in raising them and knew I always wanted to be a mom. And so now I get to enjoy some grandchildren. I actually have 3 grandchildren through my daughter at this time. And so now I take a supporting role in helping to support her as she is a young mom. So I want to talk about, I'll probably talk about a few things today. There's so much I want to talk about on this channel, so I hope I don't change the subject too much. Sometimes I get on knowing what I want to talk about, and sometimes I just go with the flow, with whatever comes. So today I kind of just wanted to touch on the point of, now that I have a daughter who has children, how can I be a support to her? And this, you might be able to relate to this as a young mom. If you have a mother who is supportive of you, or maybe a mom who's not supportive of you, where you are in your life. I want this channel to be an encouragement to you. But me being on the end of being the grandmother role and finding that I need to be very careful, right? There's kind of a tightrope that I walk with my daughter now that she is a mother. And that is, I have to be careful, very careful, not to give unwanted advice. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about unwanted advice. So if you are a new mom, or if you're pregnant, or have adopted children just like my daughter. This has been my experience, and I just talk from my experience. What comes your way is a lot of unwanted advice, and it's advice that is given to you without being asked, right, for it. So I think first of all, I want you to feel like you're not alone in this. And I know sometimes it creates even more confusion, right? Because especially if you're a new mom or pregnant and you have all this stuff coming, you're already feeling nervous. You're already in the unknown, not knowing, what's coming in the future, not knowing what's best to do as a mom, what's not best to do for your child. And then you're getting bombarded with all this information from other people. So, my advice is that you don't want advice, right? That you don't want unwanted advice. And what might be more supportive in the moment is for people to just really listen to the questions that you're asking, to the things that you want to know. Because here's the flip side of that. People are so quick to give advice, but I know when I was a young mom and I was pregnant, there were things I wanted to know that people would never talk about, right? Like, and I'll share with you some of my frustrations when I was a young mom. So when I was first pregnant, of course, you want to learn everything you can about babies and pregnancy and, breastfeeding or not to breastfeed, just how to lay your baby in a crib, on the back, on their bellies, whatever it is. You're trying to get all this information. So of course I did the standard thing. I got the Expect What You Are Expecting book. I read it from cover to cover, and listened to different family shows that were on TV for, I think they even had new mom, kind of shows on TV to try to educate myself. And then, of course, you have all these schools of thought and people whose voices are going like this in your ears. So it can be very confusing time, and your hormones are already raging. So you really don't need to feel even more confused. You just want somebody to be a listening ear and to be supportive. And you need to know that you have within you what you need to be a good mom and be a nurturing mom. So don't doubt that in yourself. And please don't doubt your instincts for what is right for you and what is right for your family. Because what I can say is all this advice that's coming your way, that may be good for somebody else in their family, but you are unique to you, and you are unique to your family, and you have, I believe, God has put within you the things that you need to be the best mom for your child. Does that mean you're going to be a perfect mom? No, that does not exist. I hate to tell you now, hate to burst your bubble, but there are no perfect moms. So we have to be gentle to ourselves. We need to be forgiving to ourselves and just realize we're human, right? We're not perfect. We're human. We're going to make mistakes, and that is okay. So let me get back to this book I was talking about that I read cover to cover. And in it, it is just so glamorous. Now, this actually made me angry because it was so glamorous about the way it talked about breastfeeding and, the expectations of your newborn and the hospital experience. And it was just going to be all wonderful and glorious. Well, let me tell you, that may be true for some people, but for me, especially on the subject of breastfeeding, I did not find that to be the glorious heavenly experience that the book talked about. So for me, of course, there are two camps, right? Breastfeeding, bottle feeding. Sometimes you do what you have to do out of necessity. I had 4 children. Breastfeeding was not a positive experience for me. It is something I tried with my first 2 children. I was not successful, and I had to opt for bottle feeding. I have no shame in that. It is what it is, and it was what it was for my experience. And so I decided to bottle feed right off with my last 2 children. Um, TMI here, maybe. I was unsuccessful because I have inverted nipples and my babies were not able to latch on. So that was just a physical reason for me that I had to choose to bottle feed. Now, there again are 2 camps, right? In this, do what is best for you and what is best for your baby. The other thing that was very difficult for me that people do not talk about is I had each one of my children C-section. So it is one thing to have a baby, and it is another thing to have a baby plus a major surgery. So recovery time was also different and longer for someone like me who has a baby by C-section. I remember sitting there trying to heal from surgery, trying to breastfeed my baby, and just crying and crying and crying because my body was just so tired. My body just could not, like it went past my capacity, right? How could I care for myself and try to care for this newborn baby in my healing? And for those of you who have breastfed or who are considered breastfeeding, it takes a lot out of you. It takes a lot of energy It takes a lot of nutrients for yourself and for your child. And so you have to have the capacity to be able to do it. Again, I am not giving advice here. I am sharing my experience, my personal experience with it. So what I suggest for us as women is that we educate ourselves, that we listen to our bodies, that we ask for those things that we need, that we don't compare ourselves to other women and their experiences, that we don't look at one camp as better than the other. We have to make those choices that are right for us. And that's the way I want to encourage you. Listen to there may be a lot of voices coming, but listen to your voice. Listen to your gut. Listen to what your body and your mind and your way of thinking for your family, what is right for you. And answer that question no matter which camp it lands in. For me, it happened to be bottle feeding, because I did try the breastfeeding and it was not successful for me. That does not mean I didn't have nurturing, bonding moments with my children, because I did. And so there's also the two camps of natural childbirth versus C-section childbirth. Again, I please ask as women that we don't compare and say that one of those experiences is better than the other. I think we need to claim our reality and say that is what my experience is, and if sharing some of that experience with other women is helpful, then that's where I stand. But I don't look at it in a comparison of one being more right than the other, one being more nurturing than the other. Women, I have found over the years, tend to do that. The other one is stay-at-home mom versus working mom. So see, we have a lot to talk about here on this channel of helping moms. But getting back to that, and that is how I'd like to end this channel today, this particular video today, is what is helpful, what is most helpful to you? Question mark first. And what is most helpful, I think, is to not give advice to moms who are newer, per se, but that as a new mom, educate yourself, listen to your gut, and be confident that you have within you to give your child everything your child needs, no matter how it comes, no matter how they come into this world, no matter how they are nourished, right? Through bottle or through breast. You know, no matter whether you are a working mom or an at-home mom, you know that you are giving your child what they need, and that you are the most special person in their lives. You are the person who has the most impact on their lives, and bring them into the world with love. That is what they need. That is what they want, right? And I hope you find something very valuable here in this channel, and some things that resonate with you that can help you along the way as being a mom. We're all in it together. And until next time, many blessings.